Okay, so this video is if you're interested in getting a new job in some field that you're interested in down the line, or if you want to get your degree, or if you just want to do better at college. And I'm gonna kind of talk fast. Um, and this video has two parts. It has resources that work together, and then it has what to do. So I have the resources all on a list, and I'll show you those at the end of the video. And I'll show you them now too, and then I'll just start going through the resources. And again, I'm just gonna kind of talk really fast. So here's the resources. Okay, and now I'll just start telling you about them. So the first thing that I recommend that you do is that you watch these two videos. First is How to Active Read and Take the Best Notes by MedBros. And then I recommend that you watch How I Memorized Everything in Medical School. So these videos really changed my life. I actually learned a lot better ever since I've watched these videos. I use what I've learned from these videos every day, and they're life-changing. Honestly, I recommend that this is the first thing that you do. Okay, so the second thing that I recommend that you do is go to MIT OCW Scholar. So MIT OCW. So OCW is a website by MIT, and they offer complete classes. You can see that they have like single variable calculus here, psychology, biology or biological chemistry. I guess that's chemistry. And I'll just show you one of these classes to show you the kind of quality that these are. These are super high quality. So this class was recorded in 2010, right? Single variable calculus, and you can go through it. Right, here's like the syllabus, and then part one, and then they have all these sessions and subcategories. Part two, part three, they have all the parts. Okay, and so if we just go to the beginning, you'll see that this class is broken down into consumable bite-sized parts. Okay, there's just clips of the lecture that they recorded at MIT in 2010, and every clip or bite-sized lecture comes with accompanying notes. Okay, not only that, you can just go to the entire, you can just click on this button here that says lecture, and it'll link you. You can just watch the entire video lecture, like the 50-minute class. So this is, you can take a free class from MIT, and this is MIT, so it's some of the best. It's like the best, right? These classes come with these videos, and they also come with worked examples. They come with the solutions. This comes with interactable applets. It also comes with recitations, where they'll show you something, and then they'll also solve it for you and tell you how they think about it and what they did. They also have problem sets. Some of the problem sets come with solutions. They also have exams. This is just a very there's a lot here for a bunch of classes. Okay. The second part about this MIT OCW Scholar is that there are other classes too. Okay, they're not just the ones that I showed you on OCW Scholar. They're not just these ones. You can also just go to MIT OCW and go to find course by topic. You can click on engineering. I'm an electrical engineer, so there, and then digital systems. And this semester I took a class that's actually just right here, signals and systems. And then here, this was recorded in 2011. You can click it, video lectures, and boom, there's the entire class. So, I took this class at community college, and if you do this, you can take the class from MIT. Okay? So, the third part from MIT OCW is the course map. So, they have this course map here. And you can just Google these, and you'll find what I'm looking at. Okay, so this course map includes these little circles. Okay? Each one of these circles is a class at MIT. The blue ones are on the website. The gray ones aren't, but they still have some information about them. Okay, this map connects classes with like these arrows showing you which one you take first and which one follows that. So maybe I can just find calculus first. Here, this is calculus 1, right? And then it'll show you that there's like an arrow kind of hidden, but it'll lead you to calculus 2. And then this one has an arrow, and I think calculus 3 is it's somewhere here, right? But you can use this to see how classes connect. You can click directly on that little blip, and then the link will take you to that class. Okay, this is useful to see, like, if you've ever wondered, hey, how does this class connect to something? You know, what can I learn from what I've learned in this class? Well, here's that class that I took, that Signals and Systems classes that I took at community college, and you can see it has this little arrow, and it'll connect to Introduction to Nano Electronics. So you can click there, and you can go check that class out, see what that's about. You know, here they have an online textbook and problem sets, some exams. Okay. So that's something that you can use the course map for. You can just see how classes connect and what, repeating myself. So the next resource is a flowchart. You can go to, you can go to Google and find a flowchart for the major that you're interested in. So this is the flowchart for electrical engineering at Penn State. It's a simple tool to use. You can use this to see what classes you have to take, which ones you've already taken, and you'll see at the end here, they have like 400 level elective, 300 level elective. You see that in the first half of college, you're really taking like specific classes, and then in the second half, there's lots of these electives that you have to take. Okay, so this is a simple tool to use. You can see what you'll end up having to do during your time at college. And that works together with, all right, so I've written college website specializations to find what technical electives you may pick. So basically, since I'm in Maryland, I want to go to the James Clark School of Engineering at Maryland, and they have this page on their website where they tell you about electrical engineering specializations, and they list the 5 here. Okay, those 5 are the same specializations that were introduced to me when I started reading my electrical circuits textbook. These are literally the same thing that you find in a textbook. So let's say I pick this specialization, right? You can click that one and it'll tell you a little bit about it, and then it'll list the technical electives that you can pick at UMD. So you can use this information to kind of, with the flowchart to see, like, in this half of college, I'll need to take these many technical electives. I'm interested in, like, this major. This major has these specializations. This specialization has these technical electives. And you can look into these technical electives. And maybe this works well together with the course map on MIT, on OCW. So that's just that's a resource, and it just helps you kind of, I think it helps. Okay, so the next resource is textbooks. So for textbooks, like you see here, I've just started collecting textbooks, and you can find them in 3 different places so far. That's what I found is you can find them at the library. You can also find them on a college syllabus. So you can look up a class, right, that you found like here, or that you found here, or that you found on your college website, or that you found, here, or here. And you can look up a syllabus for that class. And that class might have like required text blank, and it'll have a required textbook for that class. You can go ahead and buy that textbook on your own. So, what you can do with that textbook is that you can go through that textbook on your own time and learn everything that there is to learn in that textbook. There's no homework, there's no quiz, no exam, no deadline, just you, and you can learn from that textbook. So that's somewhere where you can find them. And you can also find them on the internet. You can go to websites like, you can just Google, and you can cross-reference your Googles, like look for the best textbook about something that you're really interested in, something that you want to learn. You can find answers on Quora. You can find answers on Reddit, which is what I'm going to bring up now. So that's textbooks. And then, so I guess the other resource here is the internet. I use Reddit a lot to find help. So this is Reddit, and there's subreddits. Subreddits are like pretty easy to understand here. They're like specialized pages, kind of like forums for a specific topic. All right, these are the Reddits that I'm part of. Ones like Ask Physics, C Programming, Learn Math have really helped me get to where I am. Basically, like here, I'll show you what learn math is like. People are just asking questions and about like math that, you know, and people will answer them. I use this every day, and people answer me, and they help me, they help me keep moving forward. And this really pairs well with this first video that I told you to watch, because in this first video, the most important thing that I've taken from this first video is that to not skip steps. So when you're trying to learn something and there's some piece of that book that you didn't really get, make sure that you understand that before you move forward, because it might come up later in the textbook. So if you didn't know it, so you'll have to know it then, So this is what I use. So I use Reddit for that. When I get stuck, I ask questions, and I don't move forward until I get those. Sometimes basically use Reddit. Use Reddit for anything that you're interested in, anything that you have questions on. There are people here answering your questions. They're really smart, and it's a good resource. Okay. Another resource I use is a Stack Exchange. Stack Exchange is kind of like the same thing. So here's the website called Stack Exchange. They have like sub Stack Exchanges. They have one for electrical engineering, math. This one's for C programming. They have one for physics. I come here when I have questions, and people answer your questions in high detail sometime with graphs and pictures, and really it's really smart people out here helping you. And the last one is forums. So forums specific to what you're interested in. So I use one called EEB Block Forums for electrical engineers. They have this place called Beginners where you can just ask questions, and people again will help you. They'll post graphs, they'll simulate the data that you're interested in and tell you like what they found. They'll analyze it, just a bunch of help out here between Reddit and Stack Exchange and forums that you're interested in, okay? And that doesn't even include Google or like Slater or Chegg, which give you textbook homework answers if you ever just need some help finding an answer, or YouTube. Okay, so there's a lot of help out there. And then the last one I have is professors. So this is if you're in school, I highly recommend that you attend every office hour. Okay, I recommend that you put it on your calendar if you have one, and just show up. What I did this semester is I tried to go through every exercise in the textbook that we were assigned, and anytime I had a question about a problem that I couldn't solve, I'd hold on to that, and I'd meet the professor at office hours, and I'd ask him about that question, and that's how I made sure I learned, and that's how I ensured that I learned and I did good in the class. So make sure use office hours. And email them when you have questions. Email a bunch of them. Email the professors that you're not part of their classes in. Ask them if you can meet them on Zoom. I just emailed about 5 physics professors asking them to help me because I'm going through the physics classes on OCW Scholar, and sometimes I have questions, and sometimes sometimes it would just help to be able to meet a physics professor over Zoom if they were willing to help me. Either way, I go to Ask Physics here and ask them for help, and people answer me, and I move forward. Here, that's really it. So here are the resources, right? So there's MIT OCW, Scholar, other classes in the course map. Use a flowchart, simple tool to use. College website specializations to find what technical electives you may pick. You can get textbooks by yourself. You can find them at the library. You can go up to the people working at the desk at a library and ask them for a specific book on something that you're interested in. You can go and find textbook on a college syllabus. You can find them on the internet and cross-reference what you find to find the best textbook for you. You can find help from people on Reddit, Stack Exchange, and forums, and you can get help from your professors during office hours, and if you email them and ask them to meet you on Zoom. Okay, so I guess that's that. And part 2 is what to do. So I'm going to tell you, I guess, a little bit. I'm going to tell you first on what I did. So what I did is I left school, and I failed 3 out of my 4 classes when I left school. Okay, I took a 3-year gap and was working in restaurants and all like the math that I did in high school and college, was gone from my mind, and I thought I should start studying now because I felt like a calling, right, to go become an engineer. It's what I've always wanted to do, so I started doing that. What I did is I got my old notebooks from the classes that I took at college, and I literally read like if this was my notebook, right, I'd read one page, I'd flip it over, I'd read a second page, and then I'd be done for the day. I thought that wasn't enough, so I'd read one page, I'd read a second page, and I annotated all the like formulas that I thought were interesting, or like the little pieces of like definitions that I thought were important on Word. Okay, I did this for some time, and then I found that I can do more than 1 or 2 pages a day. I can do 5 pages a day, so I started doing 5 pages a day, and then 5 pages a day turned into 10 pages a day, and eventually, after a couple of months or several weeks, I finished all of the notebooks that I wanted to review from college, and I kind of warmed myself up to start studying again. So at that point, I thought, I'm gonna go to the library and find a book about electrical engineering. So I went to the library and I found a book. I also asked Reddit about which book should I get. I stacked all the electrical engineering books, and I sent a picture to the Reddit, and I asked them for their help, and they recommended the one that I picked out too. So I picked up that book and I started reading through it. Okay, a couple months passed, and I'm on page 800 of this book, and I reached a point where it introduced these microcontrollers that you need to learn, that you can use, that you have to code to use. So I realized I need to learn how to code. So I went to the internet and read it, and again I looked for a book on coding. So then I got a book on coding. And then I went through that book. I went through that book 3 times. I went through every exercise in that book. I mean, I tried. And then at this point I was way more warmed up to learning electrical engineering. So I remembered there was a class that I failed at college, and I picked up the textbook for that class. I went to the internet, I asked, hey, I need a book about this stuff. Someone recommended me a book, and I bought that book. That book happened to be the same textbook that was required at the college I went to that I never bought because I was so out of the loop when I was in college. So I picked up that book, and I thought, I'll finish this textbook by myself on my own time, and I'll learn everything in it. Now that's going to make me a smart engineer. So where I'm at now is that I try to study for 5 hours a day, and I'm trying to complete multiple textbooks, the entire textbook, every exercise in that textbook, and I post the solutions that I come up with on YouTube. And I've got a lot more going than just that, in a way, but that's where I'm at. And I just started from reading 1 or 2 pages a day, from working in restaurants and really kind of being at a point in my life where I was a mess. So what I recommend that you do is that I recommend that you read 1 or 2 pages a day, and you might change. You will change. You will change, and you'll find that you'll be better at learning and smarter. Okay, I recommend that you use the Pomodoro Technique. That's what I use every day. So the Pomodoro Technique is just study for 25 minutes and then to take a 5-minute break. Study for 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break. You do this, and the theory behind this is that just like when you exercise and you lift weights, your body, your muscles need a break. So your mind also needs a break when you study. There's an app called Focus Keeper. I recommend that you get it. And the last thing that I recommend, so I'll show you this. So what to do is 1 or 2 pages a day. Use the Pomodoro Technique. It's another life changer. It just makes everything so easy. Sometimes you blink and the 25-minute session's done. If you do 2, you've basically done an hour for the day. You blink and it's over. Okay, and then and then I recommend index cards. So I use different color index cards for all the topics that I study. Index cards have really helped me. It's just kind of you should eventually you might realize that you don't I don't memorize anymore. I put everything on note cards, and whenever I need to solve a problem, I know that I have a note card about it, and these are good, very good detailed note cards. So I know a lot more than I ever would if I just try to memorize everything, and this is physical. Like I'll be able to carry these on with me when I'm working, like in the future, in the field. So I recommend that you get note cards. Yeah, that's really it. So resources that work together are here. What to do is I recommend that you do this. And yeah, you can do it.